everyone, happy Monday. It's Ashley Cannon Newell with you for this week's Make It Monday, and I have a fun tutorial for you to show you how to use baby wipes and come up with inking styles for backgrounds and even images. So I was inspired by this card here that I created in the March 2017 release, and I used the baby wipe with some reinkers and just did some striping and a diagonal. Now I did baby wipe stamping in a Make It Monday video a few years ago, so this is like an updated part 2 version of it. So make sure you have all your reinkers in the colors you want to use and whatever palette you want to use to apply your reinkers. I like to use an acrylic block because it wipes up easily and I can see exactly what color inks I want, and the placement of them can be kind of spread out or clustered together depending on what type of pattern or design you want to ink onto your cardstock or project. So I am creating a Father's Day card. So I wanted some earth tones, some blues, a little bit of browns, and things like that. So take a baby wipe, and there are a couple of things you can do. You can ball it up, or you can actually structure it into a particular type of design, which I'll show you next. Here I'm choosing to ball it up, okay? Now you take your project. I'm using this white cardstock here, and I'm just dabbing it, okay? If you don't like, you can always test it on a piece of scrap paper. If you don't like the way it's looking, change the position of your baby wipe. Ball it up differently, cut the corners if you don't want sharp edges to make it more rounded. But you'll never get the same look twice. And just like that, my project is finished, at least that part. This technique is just a little bit different. So I'm only going to be applying a couple of ink colors here. But the technique is all in how I roll my baby wipe. So you can see here I'm folding it. It's more structured. I'm rolling it up, but it's a little bit too fat because I don't want my image, which is technically going to be a flower or a rosette, to be too large. It's okay if you want it that large. It just depends on what you're going for. So I'm just rolling it into something small, kind of like a cigarette size. And I'm just going to roll it up really tightly here. I cut some of the baby wipe away, but see, can you see that? It's all rolled up here. Look at that. And it looks like a little flower, right? A rosebud. So that's what I'm going for here. So I'm inking it into, I'm dabbing it, I should say, into my ink. And I'm basically using my baby wipe with my reinkers as a stamp. Look at this. I'm just stamping all into my cardstock, and you can do this however you want to, as a pattern paper design, a background design like I'm doing here, or purposely do it on a die cut, or however you want to apply it to your project. All right, so that is all done. Now I'm going to show you another quick technique on how you can use your baby wipes with reinkers to come up with a design. And this one mimics the original design that I did on my March 2017 thank you butterfly card that I showed in the introduction of this video. I'm just lining up inks into a row. Now I'm strategically folding my baby wipe and then applying it to the inks. And I'm just going to swipe it down, and you can see I get like a line there. And so that's a design, and you can follow the pattern because it's going to be the same. All right, you can reapply if you want to, or if you don't want to, you can leave it as is. It just comes up with a unique kind of pattern, kind of like a watercolor look too. If you want to add more water to it, you can. Or you can even do your stripes in an angle. You can do swirls. You can do whatever you want. This baby wipe technique with the reinkers is something that's super fun. So to finish out my first card, the one that I dabbed with a bunch of the earth tones, I'm using the Heart and Soul stamp set that was introduced in May of 2017. And I already have one of the shoe footprints already die cut and stamped and everything. And you can see here how this makes a finished look, and how I was able to add a lot of color, design, and pattern just with my reinkers and a baby wipe. So now I'm going to finish off my other card when I showed you the other technique where I was rolling my baby wipe into a rosette. I have taken a small leaf image from the 2017 anniversary set, And you can use any leaf. It doesn't have to be from the anniversary set, but it was just one that I just had handy. And I'm just inking it into Limeade Ice ink and then adding it to the end, doesn't matter what end, of the rosebud. And that creates a flower. It brings it to life. So you can see it a little bit closer here. How it has a unique kind of like watercolor effect. And it's a really cool way to use your reinkers in a unique way. To finish off this card, I'm just going to take some hibiscus burst cardstock just to break up the pattern a little bit. It's about an inch and a half. And I'm just going to cut the excess off on the end here. And then I'm just going to add a die cut and a sentiment from the Bold and Beautiful stamp set. So again, this baby wipe technique this is like a part 2 version. Again, I did this in a Make It Monday video a few years ago. What I did different there, if you want to revisit it, is I actually stamped my ink onto the baby wipe that was already saturated in the reinker. This time I'm using the baby wipe to apply it to the actual cardstock. It's just a little bit of a spin on my original technique that I shared with you a few years ago. Right now I'm just taking a .005 millimeter black Copic marker or pen and adding little black details and polka dots to the card front just to make it look more finished and more of a pattern and a design. This is such a fun technique and a fun way to play with your reinkers. Sometimes we have reinkers and we think, oh, we can only use them to reink our ink pads. No, they can be used for way more than that. Of course, we know watercolors, but this is a way to stretch out the versatility of these reinkers and use all those baby wipes we have, not just for cleaning our stamps, right, or cleaning our tabletops, but also for creating fun patterns and designs like on this card here. So I hope Lauren's dad, my daughter, likes his Father's Day card, and this birthday card will be great for a friend of mine. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.